जय यशोदानन्दना जय व्रजजनरञ्जना जय यशोदानन्दना जय व्रजजनरञ्जना जय यमुनातिरवनचारी जय कुञ्जबिहारी जय यमुनातिरवनचारी जय कुञ्जबिहारी जय यमुनातिरवनचारी जय कुञ्जबिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुनातीरवनचारी यमुनातीरवनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा हरे कृष्णा जय ओम श्रीपाद परमहंस प्रहलाद विशिष्टोत्तर सतश्री अवैचनानंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। इसकान संस्थापक श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादां सगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयेत् यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं नमामि विश्वपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती जयपताका स्वामिनिधि नमः चरपदान्विताय गौरकथा दामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणि कस्तूरी तिलकं ललाटपटले वक्षस्थले कौस्तुभं नासाग्रे वरमौक्तिकं करतले वेणुकरे कङ्गणं सर्वांगे हरिचंदनं सुललितं कंठे च मुक्तावली Gopastri Pariveshtito Vijete Gopala Chudamani. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. जन्माद्यस्य त्वन्मयाति ततश्चार्थेषु अभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायाति कवये मुह्यन्ति यस्वर्यः तेजो वारिमृतां यथा विनिमयो यत्र तत्र सर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा नरस्तपुरं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवा भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नष्टि हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams.
Hare Krishna. With the blessings of Guru and Krishna, I am trying to explain Shrimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 20th chapter. Shloka starts from 44 to 49. Remember, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Siddhan Vidyadharamschaiva Siddhan Vidyadharamschaiva Tirodhanena so asrajat Tirodhanena so asrajat Tebhyo dadhat Tebhyo dadat tam atmanam Tebhyo dadat tam atmanam Antardhanakyam adbhutam Siddhan Vidyadharamschaiva Tirodhanena so srajat Tebhyo dadat tam atmanam Antardhanakyam adbhutam. So somebody can read the synonyms.
Yes, Prabhu. Anusuya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams. Synonym. Siddhan, the Siddhas, Vidyadharas, cha eva, and also Tirodhanena, by the faculty of remaining hidden from vision, sa, Lord Brahma, Asprujat, created, Tebhyaha, to them, Adadat, gave, Tam Atmanam, that form of his, Antardhana Akyam, known as the Antardhana, Adbhutam, wonderful. Shall I read translation?
Sarvana Mataji. Sarvana Prabhu will read, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Then Lord Brahma, by his ability to be hidden from vision, created the Siddhas and Vidyadharas and gave them that the wonderful form of his known as the Antaratana. Hare Krishna.
So, in the purport, it is written Antardhana means that these living creatures can be perceived to be present, but that cannot be seen by vision. Okay. So, before getting into this verse, let us try to have a quick intro of the chapter. As we see, in the beginning, it is explained Shaunakadi rishis, they were having a wonderful association in the Naimisharanya under the perfect guidance of Sutta Goswami. So, as they were talking again and again, various topics, and their taste for listening has been increasing immensely. This is what we have to understand. Bhagavatam means the taste has to keep on increasing because it is a nectarian one. If somebody feels it, oh, it's bored, this subject is not okay, oh, this chapter is not okay, if that is the mood, then it is very difficult. Because, as I was explaining, certain chapters comes with the story form, certain chapters comes with philosophical things, certain things comes with the entire family tree, all these different type of things are there in the Bhagavatam. And especially the creation, the subject is a little difficult to understand. For the simple reason is, creation cannot be understood with our limited capacity. Let me put it precisely at the beginning itself. Because if you look at it, even Brahmaji had lots of difficulty, though he was given all the things. What are the things he had been given? Bhagavan gave him two things. One is the raw materials, we call it as in material world. So he has given all the paraphernalia. Then with that he cannot do anything. Again, Brahma got the complete knowledge to produce it. So like this similar factory type, but one thing understand it. Factory, one can understand what is what, but in the creation, one cannot understand so easily. Even when it is coming to the explanation of the cosmos and the different type of planets, everything, one will not be able to understand how it is all done. The reason is very simple. Because whatever the Lord creates, it's something beyond our conception. So we can understand Brahma is also struggling at various places. Even in this today's session, we can understand later on, he felt it, he could not complete the mission. Because why Garbhodari Sai Vishnu created Brahma, and what is his duty? That is important. So he is not able to accomplish and he feels odd. So that is the situation. So this is what they wanted to understand, both the Saunakadi Rishis, and this was also explained by Sutta Goswami. Again, that conversation starts on. In between, Saunakadi Rishis, as they were listening from Sutta Goswami about the conversation between that is Vidura and Maitreya. Because the entire conversation goes long, because the complete knowledge, Maitreya got it from Krishna directly, and Vidura came out of the palace and he wanted to do a Tirth Yatra. So they met at the banks of the Ganges near Haridwar. So when this is explained, immediately the Saunakadi Rishi is that we are all always eager to know more and more about it. And especially how they are connecting. This is a very important aspect. Here we look at it, this is done by Brahmaji. But how they look at it is very different. So Saunakadi Rishi is telling, we want to know more and more about the Lord and his pastimes. So that means all these things, though it is related to Brahma's creation and who does it, primarily one should understand it's all connected to the Supreme Lord, because it's all relevant in the subject, and everywhere the pastime comes and the devotees also join there to participate in that. So like that here they are all asking. So as it was requested by the Saunakadi Rishis, immediately Sutta Goswami started explaining, meditating upon the Lord. And he narrates the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya. So Vidura put a question and he wanted to know more about it. So like this, if you look at it, many of the conversations in the Bhagavatam, the listener will be more enthusiastic, more eager to know about the Lord. Similarly, the speaker also will always be very much excited to explain more about the Lord. So this is a situation. So under these circumstances, now let us get into the today's verse. It talks about it, what Brahma is doing. So yesterday also you might have seen it. That's a different wonderful verse. But there also one can understand what Brahma's role is. And Pitas. Pitas means the forefathers, right? So forefathers means we talk about the Shraddha ceremony and whatnot. So in this verse, it talks about Siddhas and the Vidyadharas. So as we see that Siddhas are, its simple term one can understand. Siddhi. Siddhi means perfection. So to achieve perfection, one has to do a lots of practice. So it is not easy to achieve perfection. So as we see in the Bhagavad Gita also, many places Krishna is talking, unless one practices, one cannot achieve perfection. So even in the material world, the same thing. So what we are saying. So any child going to exam, unless they do a lots of practice, they cannot achieve perfection. So here, Brahmaji created the Siddhas. How they come, that's very important. Then Lord Brahma, by his ability to be hidden from vision. This is very important. So as we see in the shloka also, Antardhana. Antardhana means they look like disappeared, but they are there. So even if you look at it, there is another word which comes in, Thirodhanina. So Tirobhav, we say that, right? Those who are disappearing, we call it as Tirobhav, right? Avirbhav means those who appear. So these are the phrases which we can understand and we can relate it to a better extent. So the word Prabhupada writes here is hidden from vision. So one cannot see it with our naked eye, or we can call it as material eyes. So here it is explained further, created the Siddhas and the Vidyadharas and gave them that wonderful form of his known as the Antardhana. So if you look at all the Puranas in many places, we will say, Bhagavan Antardhan ho gaya. Antardhan ho gaya. So he is away from the vision of the person who is perceiving it. Even you can have a wonderful connection in this, wherein in the first canto, if I remember right, I think 7th chapter, Narada Muni, while he was explaining about his previous experiences and birth to Vyasadeva, at that time he says, I forgot myself and I forgot. I could not see both the Lord and myself. So that means the Lord has gone Antardhan. So it is not possible for everybody to do this. So here, that's why it is written here, Brahma, by his ability, because he has the ability, but how he got the ability, one has to understand. One should not forget it. So Brahma possesses ability, like that we cannot say. So Krishna has given him the ability to do that, and he does it. So he created the Siddhas. Siddhas are, as I told you, they are perfectionists. How to relate it again? In the Bhagavad Gita also, there is a relevant verse in this case. And Krishna says, what does he say? Let us see that. Verse number 26. Give me a minute. Verse number 26.
Chapter Prabhu.
I got it. Ashwattaha sarva vrikshanam devarishinam cha naradaha gandharvanam chitraradaha rataha siddhanam kapilo munihi. So here Krishna says siddhanam kapilo munihi. Let's get into the translation. Of all the trees, I am the banyan tree, and of the sages among the devatas, I am Narada. Of the Gandharvas, I am the Chitrarata. And what does he say further? And among the perfected beings, what is the meaning? Perfected beings, I am the sage Kapila. So if you look at the purport also, Prabhupada gives a wonderful explanation of Kapila Muni. So the Gandharvas planet is filled with the entities who sing beautifully. So Gandharvas, you have heard about it. They are specialists to glorify the Lord. Okay. And among the best singers, he is the Chitrarata. Then he talks about the amongst the best living beings. What is that? Amongst perfect living entities, Kapila, the son of Devahuti and Kardama. So this is an interesting story where we are going to get it little later in the same canto. Further chapters it will be talking about. So Kardama Muni and Devahuti begot a son because Devahuti prayed to the Lord, he wanted to have a son like him. So the Lord agreed to come down. But initially, she was completely into lots of enjoyment and lots of material things. So, as she was requesting so many things, Kardama fulfilled all her desires. And finally, when she begot a son, and by name Kapila, he is incarnation of Krishna himself. So one should not mistake or wrongly conceive it. There is one more called Kapila Muni, right? Here it is Kapila Dev. So here it is mentioned Kapila Dev. Okay. So here Kapila, Lord Kapila, he is famous in the philosophy. Philosophy was atheistic. Though it is written atheistic, one should understand he had always recommended the devotional service. Thus, there is a gulf of difference between them. Two things, right? One Kapila is Kardama and Devahuti. Another one is talking Prabhupada here. The later on, another Kapila became famous. So remember it, there are two Kapilas. Huh? So the Kapila Dev, what we talk about is Kardama and Devahuti. This is Kapila Muni. Later on, he is called as Kapila Muni, and he is into atheistic philosophy. So such a wide range of difference. So here Kapila Dev, he instructed his mother and Sankhya philosophy. Actually, I said the other way. So it is Sankhya philosophy were explained by Kapila Dev to Mother Devahuti. While explaining Sankhya philosophy, he emphasized the importance of devotional service also. There is one chapter, I think so, he talks about the devotional service. So we can understand perfectionist. We are talking about the Siddhas. So Siddhas, who is the topmost? Kapila Muni. So that's what here it is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. So one should not get confused. So remember it. Amongst the perfect living entities, Kapila, the son of Devahuti, that's what is mentioned specifically. One should not mistake it for the other Kapila, who is only a philosophy talking of atheistic things. Okay. So these are two things. He is considered, who is considered? Kapila Dev is considered as an incarnation of Krishna himself. Okay. So as we get into this further, we can understand Vidyadharas. Vidyadharas are those who are specialists. They have possessed certain special qualities. So what are the special qualities if you look at it? No, it's very interesting. It's a type of what should I say that? It's a mystery type. Okay. So they have some power and they try to do certain type of mysterious thing. It can be called as tantric also. It's a type of tantric work. So this is not generally recommended. So we can leave at this Vidyadharas. Okay. So moving on to the next shloka.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
For this Antardana, can you give one example?
Which one?
Antardana.
And only he was able to listen to the words of the Lord, to Narada Muni. Similarly, many places it comes, Antardhan ho gaya, they say in English, Hindi, no? So the Lord completely moves away, but he is not visible to the person. It's a special power. That's why it is explained at the purport what Prabhupada, right? Antardhana means that these living creatures can be perceived to be present, but they cannot be seen with a vision. That means with our normal vision, one cannot see it, but they cannot be seen by vision. So these powers were endowed to others, right? That's why it is mentioned here. These both Siddhas and Vidyadharas, they had that.
Okay, thank you,
Clear?
Prabhuji. Yes,
Yeah.
clear. Thank you.
So Antardhana, the power they had only for Siddhas and Vidyadharas. Siddhas, as I told you, the perfection. So due to the perfection, they have this ability of Antardhana. So as I told you about the Vidyadharas, they are good at different type of tantrics. So you might have heard so many nowadays, black magic and all, right? So all these things are happening and one cannot see it who has done it with our normal vision. Clear? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Ji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, sir. Again, as I told you repeatedly, the creation as such, the subject, whole subject cannot be perceived with our normal ability of knowledge and the vision. So certain things one has to understand. It is difficult to know what is what. To a greater extent, with the mercy of various gurus who have explained it, we can understand to a certain extent. Okay. So moving on to that 45 shloka number. Sakinnaran kim purushan pratyatmayena sajat prabhu manayan atma natmanam atma bhasam vilokayan sakinnaran kim purushan pratyatmayena sajat prabhu manayan atmanatmanam atma bhasam vilokayan. Okay, so somebody can read the synonyms and the translation.
Sudha Mataji and then Shilpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Pranam, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Saha Lord Brahma, Kinnaran, the Kinnaras, Kim Purushan, the Kim Purushas, Pratyatmena, from his reflection in water, Asrajat created, Prabhu, the Lord of the living beings, Brahma, Manayan, admiring, Atmana, Atmanam, himself by himself, Atma Abhasam, his reflection, Vilokayan, seeing. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. One day, Brahma, the creator of the living entities, beheld his own reflection in the water, and admiring himself, he evolved Kim Purushas as well as Kinnaras out of that reflection. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. As we see here, they are also coming under the Devatas, and they also possess very special qualities. So let us get into this. One day Brahma, the creator of living entities, beheld his own reflection in the water, and admiring himself, he evolved Kim Purushas and Kinnaras out of that reflection. So here, if you look at it, there are different type of creations. So as we see here, sometimes we are not able to understand, also puzzled also, because the creation is something, a subject which cannot be understood so easily. That's why in many places Krishna says understanding him is not that easy. So understanding creation itself is very difficult, and how to understand the creator, it's impossible. But fortunately, we are able to understand something about the engineer. Who is that engineer? Who is the engineer?
Krishna.
Oh, no, Brahma.
Brahma.
Brahma. Sorry.
Why Brahma is called as engineer? Prabhupada explains, he was completely puzzled when he was created by the Lord. So he was Swayambhu. That's what we call it. He is Swayambhu because he does not have a normal like father, mother, and he came from the Garbhodaya Sai Vishnu. So when he was brought out, he could not understand what is what. So everything was dark around. He could go only to the stems. Then he meditated upon the Lord because the Lord instructed him tapasya. After the tapasya, after the austerity, after the worshipping of the Lord, then the Lord endowed him two things, as I explained earlier, raw materials and the knowledge to produce things. So as we see here, he is also sometimes puzzled. See, if you go to a remote new place, wherein nobody is there, right? When you are left alone, you are completely puzzled and you are also having a lot of anxiety. So here also, Brahma is also anxious to know so many things because he is also, we can call it as innovating or inventing, either way. So one day when he was looking at himself in the water, so reflection comes, right? So the reflection gives him lots of enthusiasm because he admired it. Because first time he was looking, similarly also, no, when children, when you take it in front of the mirror, they will be excited. They will go and try to touch on other things, right? So like this, here Brahma was completely puzzled when he was seeing his reflection in the water. So naturally he will admire, right? So many times, even we also, when we go before the mirror, sometimes we look at it, sometimes we have lots of good mood, means we encourage, oh, we are beautiful. Sometimes it is not that we are not beautiful. So here he is in a very perfect mood and he admired himself. So as he admired himself, immediately he could create two things. One is Kimpurushas and Kinnaras out of his reflection. See, can you imagine two living entities come and how they come? From the reflection, wherein one cannot imagine how it is happening. So this is what the capacity or the ability, what we saw in the previous sloka, the ability or the capacity was provided, awarded by Krishna, and Brahma was able to expand the creation again and again, right? So as we see here, what are the normal Kimpurushas position? Let us try to understand. See, Kimpurushas have very special features, and the body is of human being and their heads are equine. So they possess a different position, and especially Kimpurushas are also explained as attendants of the Kuberas. So they always serve Kubera. Okay, Kubera is none other than a Yaksha, right? That is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. So here, Krishna in the chapter 10, he is explaining among the Yaksha Rakshas, I am the Kubera. Right? So as we see here, Brahma created from his reflection, and the Kimpurushas are always glorifying the Lord. They are also capable of it. We saw sometime back Gandharvas. Gandharvas means they always sing the glories of the Lord. So two things are there, singing and chanting or glorifying. So there are 2-3 types one can glorify. One can do it in a poetry form and one can do it as a speech form. So here they do it in a prose form and they glorify the Lord. So we see all these Kimpurushas or the Gandharvas, whenever the Lord appears for their good, right? He takes different avatars, right? Each and every avatar is always for Paritranaya Sadhunam. So these are the sadhus, they are coming under the category of devas, and they always glorify the Lord, and they always execute the instructions of the Lord perfectly. And they accept the Lord as the supreme person. But unfortunately, Asuras are not. That's why when the Lord appears to finish off the Asuras, these devatas come in number in the sky and they watch how it is happening. And finally, when the Lord is victorious, they always shower so much of flowers and glorify the Lord. So this can be seen in the avatar of the Narasimhadev. So as the Lord finished off the Hiranyakashipu, all the Kimpurushas started glorifying. I'll tell you one thing. See, if you look at the 5th canto, there is a chapter, it talks about Jambu, Dipa and other things, right? So who are all glorifying whom? It is explained. Because the Lord has got different incarnations, right? Similarly, after killing of Hiranyakashipu, you can see each and every Devata will come and glorify the Narasimhadev. If you get into the 7th canto, chapter number, if I remember right, 8. Because before or after the 8. So 9 is glorification by Prahlad Maharaj. I think 10 is the glorification by the Devatas, I think so. So one can understand that also Kimpurushas and Kinnaras glorify the Lord so much. So again, if you look at the other one, let us get into that. There are lots of instances, even when Bali Maharaj was controlled or taken over by the Lord, Vamana, they also came and praised the Lord. So there are so many situations wherein they come and praise the Lord. So these are the Kimpurushas, and Kinnaras are also similarly, they have the ability to glorify the Lord. See, they are all similarly associated with this. That's why it comes together. If you look at it, their words are come. Kimpurushas, Kinnaras, together it comes. It's in the same category. That's why it talks about the Kimpurushas. Okay. So moving on to sloka number 46. Te tu jagru rupam tyaktam yat parameshtina mituni bhuya ghayantas tam evo shashi karmabihi te tu jagru rupam tyaktam yat parameshtina mituni bhuya gayantas tam me oshasi karmabihi. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhu. Prashanti Mataji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Synonyms: they, the kinnaras and the kimpurushas, tu, but, tat, that, jagruhu, took possession of, rupam, that shadow form, tyaktam, given up, yet which, parameshtina, by Brahma, mutni bhuya, coming together with their spouses, gayantaha, praise in song, tam, him, eva, only, ushasi, at daybreak, karma bihi, with his exploits. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anita Mataji, please read translation and purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: The King Purushas and Kinnaras took possession of that shadowy form left by Brahma. That is why they and their spouses sing his praises by recounting his exploits at every daybreak. Purport: The time early in the morning, 1.5 hours before sunrise, is called Brahma Muhurta. During this Brahma Muhurta, spiritual activities are recommended. Spiritual activities performed early in the morning have a greater effect than in any other part of the day. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Purport is there?
Yes, Prabhu, I just read the purport.
Yeah, she read, Prabhu.
It says about the
Both here
Brahma
she has finished. Okay, perfect. So as we see here, Brahma could see the reflection. Reflection is nothing but a shadow. Because we are also carried away by the shadows, right? Illusion, right? Here, the Kimpurusha and the Kinnaras took possession of that shadow form. But interestingly, they possess certain abilities, as I told you, to glorify the Lord. That's why their spouses sing his praises by recounting his exploits at every daybreak. So here we can see that they glorify their father Brahmaji. So as we see in the purport, Prabhupada explains about the importance of Brahma Muhurta. So Brahma Muhurta, many of us have difficulties. So they say 4 to 5:30 and 4:30 to 6, all these things. But it's one simple thing we have to understand. It talks about the sunrise. Our day in English, what we call it as morning, it's not like that. Because if you look at the Shastras, it's always talk about the sunrise, midday, or they also count how the sun comes just above our head. Similarly, sunset, it talks about exactly when the sun is setting from the horizon. So here Prabhupada explains in the morning. The morning means, Prabhupada, what does he write here? Try to understand. 1.5 hours before sunrise. So sunrise always vary. In Uttarayana, it is going in a different cycle, and Dakshinayana, it goes in a different cycle. So one should look at this sunrise, and before that 1.5 hours is important. Right? So the Brahma Muhurta is also there for the Devatas too. But their calculation is different. When we are talking about the Margashirsha Mas, right? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about, I am the Margashirsha month. So there it is explained that Margashirsha month, one full month, becomes the Brahma Muhurta for the Devatas. That's why they come and glorify Krishna during that time. So this is also explained in the Sri Sampradaya, wherein they celebrate this Margashirsha month, and especially Srimati Andal Nachyar, she has composed this Tirupavai, and she is waking up each and everyone to join the glorification of Krishna. So here that Brahma Muhurta, remember, it is from the sunrise before 1.5 hours. Not that 4:30 to 6 or anything of that. So look at the sunrise timings before that 1.5 hours. Right? Ushak Kal, we call it as Ushaha. So this is also explained in the 10th canto of the 22nd chapter of the Shrimad Bhagavatam, wherein all the Kumarikas of Braja, they worshipped Katyayini. What is the time? It talks about the Ushakal. Ushakal means that is the Brahma Muhurta. So why it is explained? Prabhupada says it is recommended for spiritual activity because we remain in the Sattva Guna. But people generally, when it comes to chanting, take it lightly and they do it during the whole day. But Prabhupada is very clear on that. See, those who have taken up chanting, they should do it always in the Brahma Muhurta. For the simple reason is, we can do it in the day, we can do it in the evening, we can do it in the night. But what would be the quality is always a questionable one. So it is always recommended to do it in the Brahma Muhurta, wherein the quality of the chanting is also of a very great percentage. So try to do the chanting, especially in the Brahma Muhurta, so that the taste for the holy name, you will develop it slowly. So Prabhupada gave, what does he say? Have a greater effect than any other part of the day. That's also he explained. Okay. So moving on to shloka number 47. Dehena vai bhagavata shayano bahuchintaya. What is written? Bahuchintaya. He is worried. He is concerned. Shayano. He is lying down. Sarge anupachite krodhat ussasajja hadat vapuhu dehena vai bhagavata shayano bahuchintaya sarge anupachite krodhat usarja hadat vapuhu. Okay, somebody can read it.
Shilpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Once Brahma lay down with his body stretched all at full length. He was very concerned that the work of creation had not proceeded apace, and in a sullen mood, he gave up that body too. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. See, Prabhupada, this is such a wonderful English. Sullen mood. Sullen mood means completely in a very sorrowful condition and losing all our confidence, and it's called a frustrated mood. Why? Because in a frustrated mode, he could not execute the instruction of Krishna. Why? Because he has told him to create everything in place. And it is not happening at the same pace. As I told you, he's an engineer, right? Even in the construction field, right? There will be a task given to an engineer and he will be given a deadline too. So he has to do it before that. So if it is not happening, he will be worried. Same way, this engineer, Brahma, also worried because it's not happening in the same speed. And what did he do now? Because of that, he lied down to relax, and what to do next, he is puzzled. So at this situation only, he was a little morose, and the mood was ready to give up his body too. That means Dehant. That's why it is written Dehena. So he is ready to give up the body. See, generally, we have a difficulty. When the mood swings, it is always a problem. When you go to a psychiatrist, they will always say mood swing. But nowadays, the mood swing is so bad among the people. For the simple reason is, it is the wonderful smart, which always take away all our ability. What is that smart? It's nothing but a smartphone takes away all our ability. So here, one should understand to always keep in good faith, always to keep in good moods, one has to remember the Lord throughout. That's why it's very important to keep us always in pace. It's always required to keep the spiritual connections. Okay, sloka number 48. Yahi yantat mutaha kesha ahayaste anga jagnire sarpaha prasarpataha kura naga bogoru kandaraha ye ahi yanta mutaha kesha ahasyate anga jagnire sarpaha prasarpataha Pataha, Hura, Naga, Bogoru, Kandaraha.
Krishnamurti Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams Prabhuji. May I read the translation or synonymous Mataji? Synonymous.
Prabhu?
Synonymous.
Yeah, synonyms and translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Ye, which, Ahintya, Ahinta, dropped out, Amutaha, from that, Keshaha, hairs, Atayaha, snakes, they, Anga, oh dear Vidura, Jagnire, took birth as Sarpaha, snakes, Prasarpataha, from the crawling body, Krauraha, envious, Nagaha, cobras, Bhoga, with hoods, Uru, big, Kandaraha, whose necks. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Oh dear Vidura, the hair that dropped from the body transformed into snakes, and even while the body crawled along with his hands and feet contracted, there sprang from it ferocious serpents and nagas with their hoods expanded. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Here, as we saw, he was lying down, right? So while lying down, what happened? The hairs dropped down from his body. See here how Maitreya is addressing Vidura, dear dear Vidura. So all the time when they are explaining it, the respect and the soft, sweet words are always required. Oh dear Vidura, the hair that dropped from the body transformed into snakes. See, can one imagine from the hair snakes can come? It cannot be perceived by us. That's why I told you creation cannot be perceived with our limited capacity. So whatever is written there, just you have to accept it and accept the supreme mercy of the Lord. This is very important. See, when somebody tries to question, somebody tries to argue, or somebody tries to create a debate, then definitely it cannot work out, because then it leads one to a atheism, because they don't want to accept supremacy of the Lord. This is the demonic nature, it says. So here, what happened from the Brahma's body, the hair fell down and it all transformed into snakes. Is it possible for Brahma to do this? No. It's a mystic thing, right? For us, it's a mystic thing. But who is the master of mistakes? Krishna is the master of mistakes. So Krishna has given him some power to do this thing. So that's why it is happening. And even while the body crawled, along with its hands and feet contracted. See that? As he moves, lying down posture, what happened? The hand went and touched his feet. There sprang from it ferocious serpents and nagas with their hoods expanded. So there are various categories of snakes and serpents. So snakes are definitely poisonous, but when it comes to the serpents, it is much more dangerous. They are always ferocious. That's why we call it as Rajanagam, right? Rajanaha. What is that called? In English, I forgot that. King, cobra, right? Cobra, right? So cobras and all are very ferocious, right? That's why it is written here, ferocious serpents and nagas with their hoods expanded. So if somebody tries to play with this type of cobras, it will raise its hood and it will try to attack faster. So this is a very important thing, and it is created how? From the hairs of the Brahmaji. So moving on to the next sloka. Satmanam manyamanaha kritakrityam ivat mabuhu tada manum sasarjante manasa loka bhavanan. Okay. Satmanam manyamanaha krityam ivat mabuhu tada manun sasarjante manasa loka bhavanan.
Someone wants to read?
Mataji,
Hare
can I?
Krishna.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Synonyms: Saha, Lord Brahma, Atmanam, himself, Manyamana, considering, Krita Krityan, had accomplished the object of life, Eva, as if, Atma Bhu, born from the Supreme, Tada, then, Manun, the Manus, Sasarja, created, Ante, at the end, Manasa, from his mind, Loka, of the world, Bhavanam, promoting the welfare. Translation by Divine Vishnu Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai.
Sudha
One
Mataji,
day
Shanti
Brahma.
Mataji will read.
Okay,
Shanti
okay,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. One day, Brahma, the self-born, the first living creature, felt as if the object of his life had been accomplished. At that time, he evolved from his mind the Manus who promote the welfare activities of the universe. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Imagine the one day means so many one days, right? So how much time he took to create? Imagine that. As we know that now, one day of Brahma is how many years? We know that, right? So many Chaturyugas, right? So can you imagine that how the creation was done, all these things? See, that's why I said no. Creation, the subject itself is beyond our capacity to understand. See, we cannot perceive it because it's something very, very unique because we are not having any ability to understand that. That's why to understand Krishna is much more difficult. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita it says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante. So many years or many births, one will be able to understand Krishna little. But they cannot understand Krishna in full. This is always the statement from the Shastras. So, okay, coming to this today's last verse. One day Brahma, the self-born. Self-born means what is the word? Swayambhu, right? The first living creature felt as if the object of his life had been accomplished. That day he was morose because he was not able to keep in pace. Now today he feels much more elated because he felt it, his project of creation is almost accomplished. See, when we say that, is there any deadline for Brahmaji to create? Is there any time limit or these things? One can understand. See, all the devatas, they work for the pressure of the Lord. And every time, whenever they do it, they have to do it according to that. They cannot escape. See, if you look at it, all this sun, moon, everybody, all the devatas, they work precisely and with perfection because they have to execute Lord's instruction very precisely. So in this regard only, there is a verse in the same canto, 25th chapter, 41st shloka, wherein it says, all the devatas, sun god, moon god, everybody work under fear because they have to complete that. So can sun god take permission one day? No. 1 hour permission? No. They have to work all the time. So like this moon god. So like that, it's also here. Brahma is given a task and he has to complete it and accomplish. So today he feels it. In this day it says he is feeling it's accomplished almost. At that time, he evolved from his mind the Manu. This is the primary subject, right? So as we say Manushyan, Manushyan means what? Manu. From the word Manu it comes. So what do they do now? They are coming under the human race. And who is the father of the human race? Manu. Right? What is his full name? Anybody can say? What is the full name of Manu?
Swayambhu Manu Prabhuji.
Vaivasvata Manu now.
No, now it is Vaivasvata Manu, but as such.
Swayambhu
Swayambhu Manu was
Okay, I'll tell you. Many of you will say Swayambhu. The pronunciation is wrong. Swayambhu Manu. We had explained, I think so, in our class only. Because Swayambhu is Brahmaji and his son is Swayambhu. Like Vasudeva is father, son is Vasudeva. So all this pronunciation, we have to be very careful. Because Prabhupada, when he writes it, it's SVA, above there will be a line. Swayambhu. Do not forget it. So many times you are also reading, while reading by mistake, when there is Vasudev, we call as Vasudev. When there is Vasudev, we call him as Vasudev. So all these things you have to be very alert when reading it. That's why reading the shloka and reading the purport, anything, you have to be very cautious, and one has to do lots of diligence is required. So as we come back to this now, so Manu is created. And how Manu is created? Because Brahmaji is in a joyful mood, and at that time his mindset was so wonderful. From his mind he created the Manus, right? So there are so many Manus, we know that, right? So here, who promote the welfare activities of the universe? Their job is what? To complete the mission. What mission is? Welfare of the activities. So the Manus are given. From these Manus only we get so many codifications. What is the codification? How to be a living being in the form of a human form. It's called as Manusmriti and Manu, other one, Manu Samhita. There are so many things. So all these things are given how to live in life in a human form. So a human being has to live according to the Manusmriti and the Manu Samhita. Clear? So Manu is the father of the mankind. Right? Unfortunately, the English or the books, what we read is, it says it happens in a bank and they are talking about Adam and even all this nonsense. But one should understand this is what the Bhagavatam, the profound, especially, one can understand this is the essence of it. Clear? So with this, I am not going to further expand the Manu, so many Manus, another thing. Maybe it will be coming in the later part of it. So as we are running out of time. So here, today's class, we covered around 5 shlokas. These 5 shlokas talks about the Siddhas, Vidyadharas. As I told you, Siddhas, Kapiladev is the supreme, and Krishna says, I am the incarnation, right? Again, Vidyadharas, as I told you, they are all good in Tantric. Then we talked about the next level of Kimpurushas and Kinnaras. They are remaining in the same level almost, and their job is only to glorify the Lord, praise the Lord all the time. They come at the end of each and every incarnation, and when they finish all the asuras, they come and glorify the Lord. This is what we said that. Then coming back to the next level, the Brahmaji lies down, and from his body comes the snakes and the serpents. So in this snakes and serpents, again Krishna says one important thing. Just for your reference, I am giving you can go through that also. This comes in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He says, it is. Okay, shloka number 28. 28, what does it say? Sarpanam Asmi Vasuki. I am the Vasuki. So among the serpents he is. Okay. So this we can understand with that reference as Sarpanam Aham Vasuki. So with that we complete our today's, and the last shloka describes about the Manu who came from the mind of Brahmaji, and he is the father of the mankind. Hare Krishna. Grantra Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Any plus on any points which is very relevant, it is all the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Any mistakes, it's purely mine. I request the other Mataji who was supposed to give class, any points if she wants to add, she can do it now.
Janvi Jivan Mataji. Are you there, Mataji? Yeah, she's there. Okay. So any questions? Prabhu, I don't think she is able to unmute. I think she can't able to unmute. So devotees, any questions, comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
During text 47, I got disconnected due to some Wi-Fi problem. Here they say that and in a sudden mode, he gave up that body too, that is Brahma. Then
Yeah.
again he said, next are not came. Can we just just a short, just explain it if you don't mind?
Okay. See, it's very clear. Sullen mood means he is not willing to live anymore. He wants to quit the body. Right?
Yeah.
So he was lying down. But mood was like that, but it did not quit the body. That's what it says.
Yeah.
So as he lied down, the hairs on his body falls down and the serpents and the snakes come out. Is it clear?
Okay.
This is your question.
No, but
right?
he said he gave up that body too. That's the confusion.
No, wait.
It says, Prabhuji, here, translation,
Wait.
text 47.
Okay. At where's the sullen body?
That is text 47.
No.
Translation, last line.
No. You have to read it clearly. Right? What does it say? In a sullen mood, he gave up that body too. That body, which body? The sullen mode.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not his original body. This is
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you have.
okay.
That's why it is written here. And in a sullen mood, he gave up that body too.
Okay.
Yeah. The mood which we had, that body he gave up.
Okay.
Because
That's what I
he
was
has to
thinking.
finish it, no? He cannot give up his body fully.
Yeah, that was the confusion, Prabhuji.
That's why it is on that body too.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Prabhuji, to bother you.
No, nothing.
Hare Krishna.
Any other question? Shall we end the session here? So we'll thank Prabhu. As I was explaining at the beginning, that always I am giving, like we are giving as ICF, just 1 hour time to Prabhu. That Prabhu, please can you take the class? And Prabhu is always coming and always accepting. Though I can see these shlokas are not easy to explain, but yet Prabhu said yes. And yeah, this is a big, it calls for big Haribol, because
yes,
I don't know about anyone else, but at least I am not in that level, Prabhu, where I can accept within 1 hour, and even the subject which I am not comfortable in, where I cannot speak much. So we all.
Myself, I will tell you very simple. I take the names of Guru, very simple, because I am not capable of. So I take the shelter of Guru and try to explain. So that's why any mistakes belongs to me, and anything plus, it always goes to Guru and Krishna. That's it.
Excellent explanation, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
We also want to come to that consciousness, Prabhu, and develop that consciousness actually. So Haribol, thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you to all the devotees. Hare Krishna. We will meet again tomorrow morning. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa Thank you, Prabhu. Krishna.
Narayani Mataji.
Yes,
that
Prabhu.
Bhagavatam session every day going on. That is 10th canto. We are in the 22nd.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. So that there is one session which is going on. Like Prabhu is taking 10th canto. Prabhu has started from first canto. In Ramadan, Prabhu is always like, it's 4 hours, right, Prabhu?
Yes, 4:30 to 8:30 UAE timing, Indian timings.
UAE timings. Yes.
Can we have the link, Mataji? Send the link.
Yeah, we will share, Mataji. I will share. I've shared in other groups, but I think I forgot this group.
Mataji, please share in ICF group, Mataji.
Yeah, yes, definitely, Mataji. I am going to share now. So you people can join. And
it's daily. It's daily.
Yeah, it's daily. It's daily. Mataji, it is only for Ramadan period. Because in UAE, Ramadan is the half day. So that's how Prabhu started this. And now it's like Prabhu is in 10th canto.
Every time we hear about the 10th canto, so we should hear that, Mataji.
Yeah.
So much in the 10th canto. Yeah.
So Hare Krishna, Haribol. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu Pranam.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thanks all
Prabhu.
devotees.
Thank
Prabhuji.
you, Parameshwar Prabhuji.
Shall I end the session, Prabhu?
Pranam Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare